Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Uncut Africa Live, a channel that brings you insight of African politics, and I'm always your guy, Digraft Amuakon. I have come across an interesting article that I want to share with my viewers. So there is a proposed bill in US that will oblige Washington to punish African governments that abet Russia's malign activities on the continent. The bill is called the Countering Malign Russian Activities in Africa Act. It has passed the House of Representatives on 27 April 2022 by a huge bipartisan 419 by 9 majority and is now sure to be passed by the Senate and become law soon. It will direct the U.S. Secretary of State to develop and submit to Congress a strategy and implementation plan outlining United States' effort to counter the malign influence and activities of the Russian Federation and its proxies in Africa. The bill broadly defines such malign activities as those that undermine United States objectives and interests. The Secretary of State will have to monitor the actions of Russia's government and its proxies, including private military activities in Africa. The government will have to counter such activities effectively, including through U.S. foreign aid programs. It will need to hold accountable the Russian Federation and African governments and their officials who are complicit in aiding such malign influence and activities in Africa. The bill was introduced to Congress on March 31, 2022, and was clearly a response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. After reading this article, everything looks funny to me. You know, it sounds funny. I can't seem to wrap my head around this whole article and this bill. I want to know from the international experts or political experts on this platform that so a sovereign nation like US can just sit down, draft a bill to punish another country or another sovereign nation in Africa because they are having they are allies to Russia, or they are trying to be friends with Russia. That's something that I'm trying to figure it out. I want to ask this question: did Africa really got independent? Because the African countries, did they really got independent? Because it seems like still most Western countries dictate how Africans should rule their country and how Africans should go about their businesses. It's really funny because since I started this channel and trying to dig deep on some issues, things I come across is kind of funny. I don't think Africans really got independent because the manner the Western powers can dictate how Africa should do this, how Africa should do this. If Africa don't do this, they are going to face our wrath. If Africa don't do this, we are going to sanction them and all that stuff. It's kind of fishy. I don't get it. So Africa didn't really get independent. It seems like we got some fake independence and it's just a smoke screen independence, because I don't get it. Africa, any African country or whatever African country should have the power to choose who their friends are. But I won't blame the US. I won't blame them, because when I was reading the bill, I realized they are going to penetrate this bill through their foreign aid programs. You get it? Through their foreign aid programs. Meaning they are going to cut, if they realize you are getting closer to Russia, they are going to cut the foreign aids you have been receiving in your country. So if African countries were self-sufficient and not dependent on foreign aids from these Western countries, I don't think this should have been an issue. But because some leaders has made it their main policy is to only depend on Western countries for their budget, for their infrastructure development, and for their everything, and just misusing the money. That money you give to most African countries does not even get to do the job you gave them to do. I have never seen Western countries drafting bill to tell African leaders that by the end of this year, I want an improvement, or I want Africa to develop. I want Africa infrastructure to be better. I want their health service to improve. I want this. I've never seen any Western country drafting a bill to push leaders of using the money, the aid, so-called foreign aid, to do the necessary work they are supposed to do with. But exactly, they try to have allies with Russia or China. You realize this Western country will start crying. These Western countries will start shouting. I really want to understand the international political system, because the things I'm getting my hands on, or things I've been reading recently, is just mind-boggling. I'm trying to figure out how we got to this point, how African countries were able to get to this point, because it seems Africans can never take decisions on their own. African leaders cannot do everything on their own. There have to be somebody tuning things. There have to be somebody pressing buttons somewhere before Africans can take decisions. And this is very sad. This is very sad. Please, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification button so that anytime I upload any great content, you will be notified. Thanks for watching.